A very good afternoon, everyone. Today we shall be discussing about the Hershey and Chase experiment. Now, this Hershey and Chase experiment was published in the year 1952, and this experiment ultimately proved that DNA is a genetic material. So, this is a confirmatory experiment that proved that DNA is a genetic material. Now, for the Hershey and Chase experiment, two things were used. One is T2 fudge and E. coli. So these are the two components that are used for the experiment. One is T2 fudge, another is E. coli. Now what is T2 fudge? T2 fudge simply is a bacteriophage. Now what are the bacteriophage? Bacteriophage are those viruses that infects the bacteria and ultimately cause lysis of the bacteria. So if we draw the structure of a T2 fudge, then we'll find the capsid, and along with the capsid we'll find the tails that is present. So these are the typical structure. This is the typical structure of a bacteriophage. Now we won't go into the detailed structure of the bacteriophage. Now in the bacteriophage, what we are going to find? We are going to find this pentagonal or the hexagonal head. Then there will be the genetic material that will be present. This genetic material is nothing but the DNA. There is also presence of spiral protein, and there is a gap that is there, and through this gap the DNA will enter into the cell. Now this is the structure of the bacteriophage. Now what the bacteriophage generally does, this bacteriophage is going to infect a bacteria. This bacteriophage is going to infect a bacteria, and typically here the bacteria is nothing but the E. coli. So this bacteriophage is going to infect the bacteria, and when this bacteriophage is going to infect the bacteria, then what this bacteriophage is going to do? Now we know that, appreciate the fact that this bacteriophage has its own genetic material, that is the DNA. Now what it is going to do? The first thing is adsorption. The first thing is adsorption. Now what the adsorption means? Adsorption means this bacteriophage is going to attach with the membrane of the bacteria, and after getting attached to the membrane of the bacteria, it is going to inject. So the second step is injection. So what it is going to inject? It is going to inject its own genetic material. It is going to inject its own genetic material into the body of the bacteria. Now what is the third step? The third step include replication. Now what does the replication means? Replication means this viral DNA is going to replicate in the body of the bacteria, and ultimately what it is going to do? It is going to do lysis. That is, it is going to lyse, that is, it is going to break the cell wall of the bacteria, and it is going to destroy the bacteria. So these are the four steps by which a bacteriophage is going to infect a bacteria. First is adsorption, that is attachment to the surface. That injection, that is injection of the genetic material of the virus into the bacteria. The third step is replication, that is the replication of the viral DNA, and ultimately it is going to lyse the bacteria. So these are the four steps that is going to do. Similarly, what the scientists are going to do here, that is Hershey and Chase done here, they taken T2 fudge. They taken T2 fudge, that is bacteriophage T2 fudge. Now this T2 fudge, they replicate, they inserted the T2 fudge, or they experimented the T2 fudge in an E. coli, and what they did, they placed the E. coli in a medium containing radioactive sulfur, that is sulfur 35 and phosphorus 32. So what they simply did is that they taken a bacteriophage, they taken E. coli, and they cultured this E. coli in a medium containing sulfur 35 and phosphorus 32. Now appreciate the fact that sulfur is generally present in protein. Sulfur is generally present in protein. Now which protein? We know that protein is made up of amino acid. Now there are some sulfur containing amino acid. What are these? These are cysteine and methionine. Cysteine and methionine. So we will find sulfur 35 in cysteine and methionine amino acid. So sulfur 35 is generally present in the protein. And where the phosphorus 32 is going to be present? We know that phosphorus is present in DNA. So this P32 is going to be present in the DNA. So appreciate the fact that sulfur 35, that is radioactive sulfur, is present in protein and phosphorus 32 is present in DNA. Now let us move to the actual step that the scientists perform. Now, what the actual step? The first step is that they allowed, suppose this is the body of the E. coli, they allowed the E. coli to get infected with the virus. Now they cultivated this in sulfur 35. Similarly, in the same time they performed another experiment. This is another E. coli. Now similarly, they allowed the bacteriophage to infect the E. coli and they cultured this in P32 radioactive phosphorus medium. Now we know that sulfur is present in protein and phosphorus is present in DNA. Now let us see what is going to happen. Now they put these two in a test tube. Now they put these two in a test tube. Now in a test tube they allowed the infection of the bacteriophage with the virus. Now what they did centrifugation. Now what they did centrifugation. So the first step they are going to do here is centrifugation. Now centrifugation means what? High speed rotating. Now when this culture will be rotating in a very high speed, then what is going to happen? Then the bacteriophage is going to remove from the body of the E. coli. When it will rotate in a very high speed, then what it is going to happen? Then the bacteriophage is going to remove from the body of the E. coli. So we will find two things. One, that will be deposited below, and another that will remain upstairs. Now we know that bacteria has generally better higher body weight, so bacteria is going to deposit below, is not it? That is, E. coli is going to deposit below, and we know that the bacteriophage has generally lesser weight, so this bacteriophage is generally going to float above. So this constitute the deposited part and this constitute the supernatant, isn't it? This constitute the supernatant. Now what we are going to see in the first case? Now let us see the first case in little detail. Now what was there in the first case? In the first case they cultivated them in sulfur 35. Now where the sulfur is going to be present? The sulfur is generally present in protein. Now we know that the capsid part, that is this hexagonal or the pentagonal part, is generally made up of protein. So where the protein is going to be present? The protein is going to be present in the supernatant part, is not it? The protein is going to be present in the supernatant part. So they used radioactive sulfur. Now what's the point of having the radioactive sulfur? The point of having the radioactive sulfur is that it will emit radioactivity. So where the radioactivity is going to be present? So write it down. Radioactivity will be seen in the supernatant part. Radioactivity will be seen in the supernatant part. Now let us come to the second case. So this is the second case. In the second case, they cultivated them in phosphorus 32 medium, P32 medium. Now we know that phosphorus is present in DNA. Similarly, when it will be centrifugated at very high speed, we will see two things. One that will get deposited below, another that will be there in the top. So we know that bacteria has higher body weight, so the bacteria will get deposited below, and the bacteriophage has lesser body weight, so it will be present in the top position. So this is the deposited part, this is the supernatant. Now what we know, that this bacteriophage has already deposited its DNA or has already injected its DNA into the body of the bacteria. Now tell me where the supernatant or where the radioactivity will be seen. As we know that this bacteriophage has already donated its DNA into the body of the bacteria, and bacteria is present in the deposited part. So where radioactivity is going to be present? So radioactivity, write it down. Radioactivity will be seen in the deposited part. Radioactivity will be seen in the radioactive part. So this shows what? This shows that it is the DNA that is getting transmitted from the virus to the bacteria. This shows that DNA gets transmitted from one organism to another, from one generation to another. This proves that DNA is the genetic material. It's not protein. It's not any other thing that is the genetic material, but it's DNA which is the genetic material. As the DNA is getting transferred from one generation to next, it is getting transferred from one organism to another. So this means that the DNA is the genetic material. So with this experiment, Hershey and Chase confirmed that it is the DNA that is the genetic material. I hope the concepts are clear. Thank you for watching.